My name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Alright, so we're going to talk about martial arts today. We're going to talk about Kung Fu Havoc and its future plans, but right now we're going to talk about martial arts. I got a little smile on my face, so I'm a little bit pissed off in case anyone cares. Anyway, I posted some stuff up yesterday about an incident that happened at school, and I'm also going to bring that up here while I'm making this video about martial artists. Okay, so one, as a martial artist, I am not here to delegitimize anyone. I watch a lot of martial art videos here on YouTube. I watch a lot of martial art videos in general. I have not been able to practice martial arts in over 3 and some change. And up until recently, I hadn't been able to do a tornado kick without being in pain. Also, I was told to not do tornado kicks by the doctors. That being said, I've gone against the grain. Now, 3 physical therapists told me that I would never do martial arts again. Alright? One physical therapist, the guy that I chose to believe, and not just because he's Asian, but because he was with me, and he's like, yeah, we're going to make sure that you can do what you love again. And I went with him. Now I've done everything they said, no hardcore wushu, so I'm never doing wushu again, so there's no flying and all that other stuff. And tornado kicks are basically taekwondo. However, wushu has the same kicks. So, if you're a martial artist, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you do wushu, y'all got some high-flying kicks, and some of them are tornado, some of those whole 360 evolutionary kicks that I know that I can no longer even attempt. I could never pull them off in the first place because I've never seen them before, and then when I finally see them, it's like, okay, I enjoy them, but the reality of a street fight is that they're almost practically useless for a street fight. They're great for filming. There's not a kick in the world that's not great for filming. If you're going to make a martial art movie and someone sees you do a complete rotation and then a kick, people are going to want to watch this battle and how it's going to play out. Now, in real life, you may never get past that first half of a rotation, depending on who you're fighting. If you're fighting someone who has little to no martial art experience, you're probably going to be able to successfully pull that off and bust them up pretty good. Where if you are fighting someone who is not a novice and not someone who has no fighting experience at all, you're probably not going to pull that kick off unless you get damn lucky. And that can happen. You can get damn lucky in a fight. You can get very, very lucky in a fight. And as I tell people all the time, it's not always the best fighter that wins the fight, but it is the person who is generally most prepared for any and everything that should come out on top. However, scenarios change. When you're fighting for what's right most of the time, you will most unlikely win unless you don't have enough skills in your skill set to upset the balance, to change the outcome of the fight. Now, I say that because of yesterday. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure I haven't posted it, but if you've seen it, and if I have posted it, then yesterday you know that I went to school yesterday, the day before my birthday, the last day of me being 45 years old. And I was teaching a young man who's a security guard at Pt1, and I'm leaving all names out, but I'm going to tell the event as I saw it. So, let's just pop this in my pocket, just in case. I'm actually expecting a phone call. But, if that comes, this video will be abruptly stopped. I'm teaching this young dude about, grabbing necks and putting your fingers here behind pressure points, and if that happens, how to escape. And I told him, this is your strong finger, this is your strong finger, and this is your strong finger. Those are your grip fingers. If you didn't have these 2 fingers, if you're not getting married, if you're not pointing at someone, these 2 fingers are basically for writing. But when you're having someone in a grip, your ring finger isn't as strong as your pinky finger, and your thumb, and your middle finger is the concept grip. Now, this is what I was taught by a couple of my senseis. How it affects other people could be bullshit, could not be bullshit. But those are the fingers I was taught to grab when someone wraps their hands around my fucking neck. So, I was teaching them about that. And then I was teaching them that if I can't, use Kenpo or Mantis to get this to come undone, to untighten your grip around my hand, then I'm going to elbow it. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to take my wrist and my knee. And one foot's going to be here. I'm going to push my knee through here, and I'm going to pull your wrist down as I push up. So it'll look like my left leg is in your knee, my right leg is on your gut, and I'm throwing my back as I push your arm down. So I'm going to break your arm this way so that the bone protrudes through. That way it controls the flow of your blood in your hand so that it stops you from being able to make a fist. It also will give me a chance to get off my ass or my back if I don't knock myself out to continue to fight. However, this veteran, who clearly is either really afraid to talk to me like a man to my face, called the guy out during our conversation, and they went outside and they never came back. So clearly this asshole was trying to discredit my martial arts skills. Yet, in my other video I posted this, and I'll post this to anybody, and no, do not attempt to come and Kimbo slice my shit by showing up at my front door trying to see if my shit's legit, because that's not the best idea you had. With all due respect to the late Kimbo Slice, if he's dead, because there's rumors that he's dead, I don't know. I don't really give a damn. Him doing that was to prove a point to people, and he did well. He did very well. And I'm going to tell you why you don't do that. Alright? Because some people are not going to fight you. They are going to kill you as soon as you step to their doorstep. I'm not going to kill you, but I'm not going to let you goat me into a fight. I'm also not going to let you beat my ass. So that's just not going to happen. If you decide to Kimbo slice my shit, two things are required. First, bring a waiver. Second, bring a lawyer. Or there's that third thing. Third thing's the most important thing of all. You might want to bring an EMT. Because I'm not going to be playing with you. I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that you don't ever do this stupid shit to anyone else. Because I'm going to break you in half. And I'm sure you're all looking at me and saying, well, James, you're only 5'3". There's not a whole lot you can do to me. Keep thinking that. That works in my favor. Because you do the one thing that everybody's ever done that's ever fought me and lost. They let my size fuck them over. Because the first thing they say, oh, he's 5'3". He's nothing. He's about 120 pounds of nothing. I like it when you think like that. Because that gives me the tactical advantage of being 125 pounds of problem. So, you go to somebody's house and you're trying to Kimbo slice their shit, you're going to be the one that's laid out. And you can go to jail because you're approaching somebody in a threatening manner. And threatening people on their property is against the law. There is a Second Amendment right to bear arms. No, I don't have a gun, so I'm not going to shoot you. But these guns right here work very freaking well. So if you're going to come to my house at 512 Rougemont, I'm not going to be playing with you. Just getting that out there, right now. Now, when you try to delegitimize somebody's martial arts, alright, if you have not fought them, you might not want to do that. Just saying. Alright, so some of the videos that I watch, you know, there's been videos with this cat named Ashita Kim. He's about the only one that I'm not going to follow, because I don't even know if he's alive, but I do know that a white man named Ashita Kim is probably not someone I want to be taught martial arts by. Then there's a lot of people delegitimizing Frank Dukes. I've never fought Frank Dukes. A lot of people say they fought Frank Dukes. A lot of people say they fought Van Damme. A lot of people say they fought Seagal and shit like that. Here's my saying on that. If you fought them and won, good for you. Cool. I ain't fought them. I don't plan on fighting them. But if it happens, it happens. But I'm not going to go out here and delegitimize anybody. Because I have not fought them. So I don't have the evidence I need to delegitimize anybody. Alright? Now, there's a sexy chick going around smashing shit up with her legs. Cynthia. Good job, girl. A lot of people have delegitimized her. A lot of people have delegitimized Master Fong or Master Wong. He's a bald guy showing knife techniques and shit. If you watch Martial Tribes, you know exactly who they are. And a lot of people just have a gripe with everybody. Alright? So I'm pretty sure someone's going to delegitimize me really, really soon when they see Path of Ascension, when they see all the stuff that I've put up here on Kung Fu Havoc #1 and Kung Fu Havoc #2, and they're going to say, oh, James, he's not shit. He's an actor who hasn't been discovered. That part's true. That part's 1,000% true. I am an actor who has not been discovered, but before I ever got in front of a camera, these damn things right here were winning fights when I was 6 years old. You can delegitimize that if you want. I don't care. But if you have not come to face me in a sparring match or a fist fight, it's probably not the best idea for you to do that to me or anyone else. Now, I do watch some of these videos, and there are some charlatans out there, and they're doing this shit right here. Okay, here's the thing. If that shit works for them, and they actually beat someone's ass, who the fuck am I to say it won't work? No. And here's the thing about fighting. I'm going to be honest with you as a martial artist. If you're going to get into a fight, there are 4 classifications of fights that you need to understand. Alright? There's tournament fightings. Tournament fightings are fighting in controlled environment, and 9 times out of 10, if you make a full contact connection, you're DQ'd. Alright? That's why you have the helmets, that's why you have the pads, that's why you have the gloves, that's why you have the shin guards. Because if you accidentally make a full contact hit, and it's not intentionally, they might deduct a point. But if you literally just lose your shit and decide, I'm going to fuck my opponent up, you're DQ'd. Alright? Then you have MMA, as well as UFC. We're going to count those as number 2. They are also controlled environments. Here's where the control comes off. You're not wearing safety gear. Here's where the control comes on. You're not allowed to eye gouge. You're not allowed to pull people's noses. You're not allowed to use pressure points. You're not allowed to elbow people in the spine. You're not allowed to knee them in the chest, like when they're coming in for a tackle. You're not allowed to do the one thing that I was taught to do because I'm small. And you're not allowed to kick people in the crotch intentionally. You do any of those things, you're DQ. Where the 4th battle will be coming, I will explain all that shit. Now you have the 3rd type of fighting. The third type of fighting, which I'm capable of doing, I just haven't been discovered. It's fighting for movies and TV and stuff like that. Those are fightings where it's worked out, it's under controlled environment, you are barely touching your opponent, and if you're not sure that you can make it look good without touching your opponent, then you're a good distance away from their face. And then it's all relied on camera tricks and camera angles, because that's how you make movies. That's your 3rd style of fighting. The final style of fighting is street fighting. And in street fighting, for those who have never been in a street fight, regardless of your skill level, if you've never been in a street fight, you will understand how quickly shit changes, because in a street fight, anything and everything goes. Pop bottles, sticks with nails in it. These are things I have experienced, so trust me when I tell you, you better have your fucking P's and Q's together. You better dot all your I's and cross all your T's if you're going to get into a street fight. And if you are a martial artist and you're getting into a street fight, you damn sure better understand 3 things. You got to stick with the basics. Do not try that fancy shit, because that fancy shit's going to get your ass kicked. Alright? Why do I know this? No, I have never gotten my ass kicked, but I have seen people attempt shit and get fucked up. Tornado kicks, not an option. Front kick, side kick, crescent kick, those work. Because most of the time your enemy has lost his synaptics and he's going to run right at you. Like Barbarian, he's going to, I'm going to bust your shit. So again, crescent kick, front kick, side kick, jumping front kicks. Those are basics. Those work. And just so that you guys can see, those are rocks right there. Well, that was fun. Front kick. Boom. Jumping front kick. Boom. Crescent kick. Boom. Side kick. Boom. Those 4 are all you're going to do in a street fight. This here, that's working too. That's the 5th option. This is not an option. Sequence. Tornado. Not going to happen. You might get that first one off. That tornado kick. When your back's right here, your ass is macked. Capoeira in a street fight. When you go here and your guard goes here, the second you do this and forget to put that guard up, you're X-nayed. Your shit's done. So, as a person, me, who has been well-rounded in a lot of martial arts, I'm going to tell you right off the bat. A lot of the shit that you see in the movies, oh yeah, you can do it in the street. You can. it's highly improbable that you should. Alright? Because if you miss a tornado kick, your crotch is wide open. And I am one of those people who are going to tell you straight up, if you throw a tornado kick at me and you miss, you ain't having children. That's a given. Because I'm hitting you square in the testicles. When you drop to your knees from that, I'm on your ass. I'm on you like stank on shit. Because I'm small and I can't afford to have you fuck me up. Because you were trying to do something fucking cool. You want to fight in the streets, I'm going to tell you. Those basic kicks. Front kick, jumping front kick, side kick, left to right crescent kick, stepping side kick, regular side kick. Those are your basic kicks. Those kicks there will keep your ass alive. You trying to do some fancy shit you just seen me do like a tornado kick, you're done. Now, I never kick first because if you're fighting someone with equal or better skills and they catch your foot, they're going to do the shit that I'm going to tell you to do right now. If someone throws a front kick, someone throws round kick, taekwondo style. Boom. They have to stop it and snap it right there. Your job, when they throw this kick, you're going to catch their foot and break their leg. You're going to put one leg behind, one leg in front. So one's here, one's there. You're going to snap their leg, you're going to sweep their foot, and you're going to fall right on their crotch with an elbow. Now, why are you going to do that? Because it's the most effective thing that I can teach you. If you break their leg and sweep their foot and just let them go, that's fine too. But a person who can't stand can still fuck you up. A person who can't breathe can't hurt you. So they're throwing this kick. Boom. They're stopping. That's taekwondo. They throw this shit Thai fighting style. Boom. They're not going to stop. It's going to come all the way through. Now they're doing a spinning back kick. Boom. If you duck that shit, wow. All of this. Done. This is the difference between an experienced fighter and someone who just wants to make movies. I'm both. You're throwing this kick. Boom. Boom. That's your sequence. You can pull that because they were simple. It's a front kick. But you got to connect with that first kick. If that first kick doesn't connect, then this isn't going to do you any good because you missed this. And if you miss this, you come here and they catch it, they're going to sweep your foot. If they're not going to sweep your foot, then their teacher failed them in teaching them how to fight. Alright? Now this ain't going to work on everybody. It's not. You have to have enough experience before you enter a fight on what's going to work, what's possibly going to work, and what ain't going to work at all. If your teacher doesn't teach you that shit, they probably haven't been in any street fights. Or they've learned how to get away from street fights. Sequences are great when they work. So, keep that shit simple. Guy comes at you, boom. He's still coming, boom. He's coming again, boom. Boom. You know, keep it simple. Boom, boom. You're good. Because you're keeping it simple. You want to get fancy? Yeah. I'm going to do this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. That might work if you catch him with the first hit. Well, I don't know why I keep taking this out and putting it back. So, you're going to get in a fight? Boom. Stick and move. You know, boom. You know, you're going to level them with something. Don't get up here and try to do a fucking butterfly kick. You know, I'm probably going to get fucked up. There's your butterfly kick. You're so off guard. It's gonna get you hurt. Tornado kicks are great if the guy is beaten 7 ways from Sunday. You're not just gonna open up with that. Now you've seen it done in the UFC. Okay, cool. Let me sit back down and explain that. You've seen tornado kicks and stuff done in the UFC. You've seen it. But you also have to remember, a lot of these guys, as soon as that bell rings, it's not combat stress that they're under. They're under the fear of, I gotta win this shit. You're gonna get paid regardless if you win or not. You pretty much know that going in. If you're going in, it's $20,000 on the line, and say the champion gets 30, the loser gets 20. Alright? It's worked out on some calculation. You're not both going to get the same shit. Obviously, the winner's going to get the bigger purse, but the loser still gets a purse. So you're going to get something. If you go in there and he hits you in the first 5 seconds and knock you out, you're still going to get paid. You're not going to have a whole lot of fans, but you're going to get paid. Alright? Now I'm going to tell you a story. I have a friend who has a friend who does MMA. And they didn't have my weight class before they told me this. And now that I legally am not ever going to be legally allowed to fight in a ring because of my hip replacement, nobody's going to be like, okay, we're going to take you in, we're going to let you fight. Nah, that's not going to happen because I'm a liability. And I would have to go through so many forums, so much red tape. And if my skills are up to par and I get in that ring, it's my fault if something happens to my hip. Then I can't sue. And I already know going in that I already have another bad hip. So now the world knows, I'll be able to make movies. Because they'll work that out with movies. They're like, all right, what do you need to make this movie? I need an acting coach. I need a doctor on set. That's it. I also need you to honor my contract of no one cuts this. They can dye it, but they can't cut it. And then there's scenes with actresses. We need to have discussions with the actress and make sure they're comfortable so that I can be comfortable. And there's also that Me Too movement thing. So, we gotta go through that loophole. But as for fighting professionally, now that they have my weight class, and now that I'm a legal cripple, it's not gonna happen. It'll never happen. I'm pretty sure that wrestling wouldn't even take me. But also, wrestling doesn't have my weight class. There's no one in wrestling unless you're female who's between 115 and 120 pounds. Yeah, I think the heaviest female may be 130, 140. All muscle though. So that you won't think I'm insulting females. So, a few years ago, my friend that I mentioned, who has a friend in MMA, is like, yeah, James, they got your weight class. And I said, hey, asshole, hip replacement. I can't fight anymore. And he's like, well, here's the thing. He started laying down some rules for me. If God had willed for me to be able to fight in the MMA and stuff. It's like, you can't do you. And I was like, what? He's like, James, you train pretty brutal. And you have some brutal shit amongst your twisted, wicked mind. You will not be able to do you in MMA. And I'm like, let me get this right. He's like, so James, what you going to do if I try to tackle you? And I said, oh, that's simple. My knees are going into your sternum, and my elbows are going into your back. Either the shoulder blades or your spine. Illegal. It's like, what? It's a street fight, right? It's like, no, it's MMA. It's not a street fight. I said, at the heart of it, it's a street fight. You're in a cage. The only thing I'm not supposed to be able to do is throw someone against the cage, right? Because it's not wrestling. He's like, no, it's a street fight with a controlled setting. You are not allowed to elbow people in fatal spots. You are not allowed to knee people in fatal spots. And James, you are a street fighter, not an MMA person. You prefer to fight to survive versus fight to win. Alright, there's a small difference. It really is. See, when you're fighting to survive, you can't afford to fuck up. When you're fighting for the win, it doesn't matter if you win honorably. It doesn't matter. But when you're out in the streets, honor's a very thin line. Alright? Let me make that abundantly clear so people won't think that I'm just being a dick. Honor is a very thin line on the streets. Alright? And I'll explain that in a second. On the streets, your size does not matter. Your strength does not matter. Your skill level does matter. Your experience does matter. What you will do to survive in the streets does matter. Alright? That's me saying you're not just going to bend over and take it up the ass to win the street fight. You're going to do everything you can to prevent that from happening. Alright? Where in the ring, in the octagon, your rules are simple. I can elbow smash you in the face as long as I use the meat of my arm. I can't use the elbow directly unless I'm hitting you in the meaty side of your face. That takes a lot of precision. And 9 times out of 10, when you're under combat stress, precision's out the window. You're just going to try to go for the fucking hit. You know, because most people, if you ever been in a fight, you know, I take one, you get one. You take one, I get one. You know, it just depends on who's on the receiving end of that ass whooping that's going to be thrown to you. Now, as I showed you 4 seconds ago, with the crescent kick and sweep the foot and elbow them in the crotch. That shit's not happening in MMA or UFC. You might be able to sweep the foot, but you're not elbowing anyone in the crotch. So he was explaining to me, you know, because I taught him some shit, and he sparred with his MMA friend, and that's like, you know, the thing about that is sparring matches only on a more full contact level is basically what MMA and UFC is. They're real fights, but they're basically sparring matches turned up a notch for money. Now, I'm going to get a lot of flack on this from martial artists and from MMA people, and here's the thing. 20 years ago, when I was 25 years old, had the UFC been more like shoot fighting out west, or should I say not out west, out so far west that it's east, in like China and Thailand and shit, where people literally fought for money and your size didn't matter, and you're put in a ring against guys and girls, because there was a Chinese guy and a Chinese girl who just beat the shit out of everybody. And you can go find their videos. It's like shoot fighting classics or some shit like that. You can find them. They were the dominant forces. The girl was my size. The guy was maybe 2 inches bigger than me, height-wise, and we were about the same body height. No, the girl, dominating. She's like 5'2", 5'3", kicking everybody's ass, full contact. Everything goes except for killing moves. We all know they sign waivers, all that shit. And you know, you have to weigh the pros and cons of that. And you got people, these people are in poor countries, so they're gonna get the biggest purse. The winner takes all, you know, and the loser, well, you get the recognition of, hey, your ass got in there, you were brave, you done your thing. And sometimes the loser got a little bit, you know, because I'm pretty sure you had to pay to see it, so somebody had to get something. The gym has to get something. The winner gets the bigger purse. So I think it's paid the winner, and then upper management, the loser, more management, the facility, and then whatever the hell is left over. Alright, so, because you have a venue for it, you know, people are gonna want something to eat, to watch people get beat up. They're gonna want something to drink. So, you know, you have to pay your venues, you have to do all that shit. So, when 20 years ago came through, and UFC started, and MMA started, there was no 115-pound weight class. It wasn't like boxing where you have fathom weight. That shit didn't exist. So before anybody says that it does not. Because I put in my application to MMA places. I put in my applications to UFC. I'm pretty sure that shit probably got thrown right the fuck into the trash can, because you had to fill it out online. Because that's when online finally got started, with online applications and shit like that. And that was like before the internet had the big explosion, and it was like they just started this shit with these applications, because they had scouts coming all around the world, and those scouts never came to Charlottesville, Virginia. But I had a good letter on the internet that said, we have this weight class, 130, that's lightweight, to 150. Then you have middleweight, which goes back to 130 to like 160, 180, alright? Then you have heavyweight, which was like 200 and up. And then you have super heavyweight, which is like 220, 240 to 400 or 500 pounds. Nowhere in there was 115 pounds regulated for men. And they did have a women's class. I don't have tits, so that wasn't a fucking option. If I'm the size of the average Vietnamese woman, believe me, they weren't going to let me fight women. And that also would not have been fair. But the whole point is, there was some shit that just wasn't meant for me to do in the ring. And that's just the way it was. And I searched all the sites, because you know there's more than just the WWE and Impact out there. There's other wrestling leagues out there. And it was basically the same thing, you know. No one's going to give me a job because I'm small. They just did not want to deal with small people. And now, 20-something years later, I'm 45 years old. Now they have my weight class, 115 to 130 is fathom weight. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a boxer, so I couldn't become a boxer. Yeah, that just was not a fucking option. I'm not getting in there if I can't use my feet. That's just the way it is. I've always been a fist fighter, but once I learned Kung Fu, everything I learned at fist fighting just took a back seat. and I just started doing Kung Fu. I started doing martial arts, rather. I can't just say Kung Fu because I started off in karate and converted. But, you know, when you're doing that, I'll make a second video because this is 30 minutes.